what's going on everybody? Gus here. How you guys doing? So, what do you think we talk amplification today? Alright? Alright, let's get to it then. Today, we're taking a look at this. This is the SP200, a AAA THX 888 amplifier from SMSL. And like, not necessarily spoiler alert, but almost, because you guys read the title anyway. This little box is awesome. Starting with the physicality of it, since we already have it in hand, this little box, which is actually not perpendicular on the sides, it's a little bit skewed like that. This is made of metal. This is like thick metal. This is heavy for the size, and it's really well built. Both the plates on the back and the plate on the front also seem to be made out of metal, maybe with a different type of coating, but still, all in all, you really can't complain about how this stuff is built. And it's also nice to know that in a pinch, you can use this as a brick or as a weapon, if it comes down to it. Now, on the back, you have a very nicely laid out array of connectivity, like the obvious two XLR inputs, which are the balanced inputs, the RCAs right in the middle, and a power one right at the side. And it's a big power one because you don't have a dangly power brick outside of this thing. Everything is built into the unit. So from the actual size, which is not that big, and the fact that it's all metal and solid and super dense, it does get a little bit warm after a while of using it. It's not like it's going to get hot. It's absolutely nothing alarming. Now on the front, you have your balanced XLR output, your single-ended 1/4 inch output, these like vintage toggle things that you maybe would find on a very old Russian plane for power, input, and gain, and a volume knob that's actually very nice. It's a little bit too smooth sometimes, but again, really nicely built and machined out of aluminum, probably because it's cold. This is definitely metal. Not that much to complain about in terms of the front design. I actually really like it, especially these little toggles here. It's so satisfying to just click, and you can do this all day. But I'm afraid I'm going to break it. Now listen, this balanced output right here isn't what makes this thing special. I'm not an electrical engineer, so I couldn't for the life of me actually explain this stuff, but I did open it up to, take B-roll of the insides and show you guys, and I scoured the interwebs to actually find information on this. But this thing is not actually 100% balanced, like truly balanced. Because to do that, you'd have to actually have the circuitry inside of that thing split into two different ones that would power and actually feed the different channels of the actual balanced output to your headphones. And this thing doesn't do that. But what does make it special and make it awesome and unique is that when you use a balanced connection for your headphones, what you're trying to achieve is the lowest possible noise floor. And this thing runs on THX technology, which has basically non-existent noise floors. And even though measurements are not really my thing, I'm going to leave a couple of links down below for you guys to check out if you really want to. But just get this. Total harmonic distortion of this thing in various different levels is like 0.000000 something. That last digit, the something with 6, 7 zeros before it, is going to change for like from 3 to 5 to 7 to something like that. It's basically undetectable. You are not going to hear that no matter what actual gear you're using plugged into your headphones. That means, in a nutshell, that 1/4 inch input, which is single-ended, is going to have the same level of noise, which is basically 0, as you using the XLR output on that same amplifier or on pretty much any other amplifier as well. Which means that the benefits of actually going balanced in terms of connections with a full lengthy, custom cable to your headphones is going to be available to you without the need of any specialty cables plugging directly even to the single-ended. To the point that there is no difference in sound quality, noise floor, measurements, or volume even between the single-ended and the XLR outputs of the SP200. It sounds the same, it's just as loud, just as clear, just as everything going from one to the other. What does change in regards to something balanced about the SP200 is the actual volume output when you change your input from RCA to XLR. Because RCAs actually push out less voltages to the amplifier, you're going to get bigger, louder volumes when going through the balanced XLR ends to whichever outputs you decide to use with their headphones, because again, you really don't need to go exactly for the balanced one to get the most out of what the SP200 can deliver. And in terms of that sound quality, which is the same no matter if you're using the XLR or the 1/4 inch to actually power your headphones, it sounds really flipping great. I mean, THX technology basically is extremely clean, super linear, like extreme levels of detail, super transparent. It's awesome. In a word, awesome. It's not going to make your headphones sound good, but it is going to get the most out of it. I mean, if you have crappy headphones, it's still going to be crap, but it's going to be the best version of crap you can get with the headphones you have. That's what this thing does. That's THX tech for you. In terms of that linearity and clarity, detail, and like the non-existent noise floor, THX amplification technology is basically unbeatable at this price range, which is around $265 for the SP200 specifically. If you want to go a step above that, something that's linear and better than what this thing can achieve, you need to go $500 to $700 to something like a topping A90, for example, which is not THX technology, but it still can sound better in that linear, clear, clean delivery. But again, you're doubling or tripling your budget to get one step up beyond what this can achieve. And before you guys compare this to the 789 from Drop, that has a lesser version, or at least an older version of the chipset inside. So the 888 THX chip that's in here is better than the 789. It's not like night and day better, but again, it's still better. And back when the 789 used to be $400, the difference in price was just like, no, grab this one, not the 789, come on. Even though the 789 does have somewhat of an advantage in terms of control, because these amplifiers are really powerful. And the 789 has 3 input gains for sensitive stuff, for more easy to drive stuff. And the SP200 was born either with like super power or super cyan levels of power. It's just that there's no middle ground. It's not like you can't use easy to drive and sensitive stuff with them. It's just like, you need to know that you're going to be turning that volume knob like very, very slightly to get the adjustments in volume that you want. And almost everything that you own is probably never going to go past 9 to 10 o'clock before it starts to actually hurt your ears. That's murder town. Don't go past 10 o'clock. Now, to be fair, right now you can grab a 888 789 from Drop for $299, which is a $34 difference. And for that amount of money, some people might think that the extra control you get is worth it for the extra $34, even though you're getting a lesser version of the THX amplification chip inside. But I personally am accustomed to, using that volume knob just like very slightly to control more sensitive stuff, and I rather have the extra potential for more power that the SP200 has on top of the 789 at my disposal. Plus for me, it's a smaller footprint. Oh, and since we're talking about price, these things can actually save you money, because since you don't need to buy expensive third-party custom cables for your balanced headphones, because you don't need them, you can just use whichever cable came with them, you're actually saving $1, because those cables tend to be pretty expensive. So if you're looking for a linear amplifier that has absolute loads of power, THX technology inside so that you have the absolute lowest possible noise floor that delivers actually really good detail, clean, linear sound signal to your headphones, and of course that also comes with the quirk here and there, like the overall design that's skewed a little bit, and the fact that it was built to live in a world where easy to drive headphones don't exist, the SP200 definitely can be like your end game. You really don't need to look any further. And I would recommend this like with my eyes closed, as long as you guys know what you're getting yourself into and how it works and how much power it has, so that you don't blow up your stuff when playing around with this. And that's been it. I've already rambled on for way too long already, so this is where we're ending the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, so like, subscribe, hit the bell, and leave any comments or suggestions down below. Also share it if you liked it, because it really helps us out a lot and I appreciate it. Thanks a lot for watching. This is Gus, and I'll catch you guys later.